Hi everyone, my name is Javi and I can draw. Welcome to a new video. Now this is a bit of a touchy subject because I have to be honest with you, I'm really not good at drawing heads in various angles. So I'm going to give it my best shot, but first I found a few videos that, well, there are pretty good lessons about it. Before we begin, if you know any techniques or found useful tutorials about how to draw heads on any angles, I want you to leave me a comment and leave me a link, or if you have any advice, just give a comment. And if you like this video, give it a like, that's very necessary. YouTube likes when people like videos. So let's begin. The first video is by Proco. It's a very short lesson, it's like 4 minutes long, and it only shows you the basic proportions of the head in case you haven't seen any of the numerous videos that I did on how to draw heads. It is very like Loomis style drawing the head, and you know, just for beginning this lesson, I think it's a good idea to watch it. The second video that I have is by Baba King. This is a really simplified version of how to draw faces on a lot of angles. I liked it because when trying to draw the different volumes of the faces, it uses just a tiny tip that she gives to you, that is just to use a tiny sphere where you're going to draw the nose, so you can then figure out the volume, or, you know, when you're in the sketching phase. And it's really simple, but you know, why she shows it and it works, so I like that video. Now moving into a little bit more complex stuff, there are two videos by Proco about how to draw faces on any angles. The first one is a bit old and he didn't used to draw that well, I'm sorry, but it's true. And the second one is a more complex version of the first video, so watching them together, I think that it really gives you a concise lesson on how to draw faces on any angle. And finally, on Bobby Chu's channel, if you don't know who Bobby Chu is, he has a website called Schoolism, where he asks the best artists in the animation and illustration world to do lessons. It is paid, of course, but the lessons are amazing. And every once in a while, he shows snippets of different lessons that are available on the website. This one is about gesture drawing by Alex Wu, but Alex Wu, and like, he's amazing. I couldn't watch Alex Wu drawing for hours. It's like watching poetry or something. And in this particular video, Alex Wu is showing him what he does to draw faces on various angles. He's a storyboard artist, so he needs to draw fast and he needs to draw clear. So this 10-minute lesson is very different from the other videos that I've shown you, and he uses a very different technique. But you know, when thinking about how to approach this subject and what to do this week, the biggest question that I have is like, okay, I imagine that you can finally draw faces on any angle, but what about keeping the consistency on the design of a character's face? And what Alex Wu does is that once he draws the sphere on the face, on the head, he then draws the nose, and as he uses the nose as an anchor point. And I think that is so, I think that that's the secret for keeping the consistency on the design of a face of a character when you're trying to draw it on a lot of angles, because if you use the nose as an anchor point for the proportion of the rest of the elements of the head and the face, maybe that's all you need. Now, you already read the title of this video, and I'm going to target faces from a low angle, like focusing on the jaw and that part of the face, mainly because I still haven't figured out how to do a face from like this angle. It is turning out to be a lot harder than I expected, but I solved the first one, so let's focus on this. Follow me. The first thing we have here on the screen is a face. This face is of my buddy, named Buddy. I just drew this character this one time when designing the character's face, so I don't really have a grasp of the volume, but I started practicing based on what I've seen on the videos that are on the video that is going to be linked below. And here what I have are the results of my first experiments. They are not very good, especially like this one is, well, pretty much a mess. From what I've been learning, I'm just going to go back just a bit. From all the videos that I watched, that I linked, all the link below, the one that stuck with me the most was that one by Alex Wu that says that once you made the sphere that is going to be part of the cranium, you just do the nose and use the nose as a reference for the rest of the proportion of the elements of the face that you're trying to draw. And I think that is kind of one of the things that you have to consider. But I'm thinking about this face, right? And if I had to change what I did wrong, because I'm starting to think, I would say that maybe this should have been higher. And then because what I learned, let me tell you what I've learned about jaws from a weird angle. If we're going to be talking about jaws, you know that jaws look like this horseshoe, right? If you're looking down from below. And then there's going to be like this volume here that is going to be for the teeth, and then there's going to be another similar horseshoe with volume, and then you have the skull and everything rests, right? And when drawing the jaw from this angle, I'm thinking like, well, it is kind of the same. Now here's the thing. Jaws are not parallel to the line of the half of your face. So if you're doing this line here to draw, and then you do this is just a bit unnatural. This doesn't happen. If you look at this face, it's not at this angle, but at this angle. This shows up. This is the shape of the jaw. And you have to work that into your weird face angle. And one of the solutions that I came up with is that, well, once you have a grasp of this distance between the mouth and the chin, which, you know, something very useful will be just to interpret this as some sort of ball, because this has this volume and you have to work it into your face. Then the next thing that you have to do is pretty easy. You can follow a straight line, but it doesn't go from the chin to this part of the jaw, it goes from the mouth. So if I had to correct this drawing that I have here, I'm going to... The first thing that I would do is like, well, what is the chin like? Is this going to be like something like this? So I do have a similar ball or shape, and then I can go to this line and know that this is the shape that I should be drawing. And this happens the same, that you can draw a parallel line here, and you know that this is the same thing. Now, well, let me see if I can fix it. I'm going to have to erase everything just a bit. Here I'm going to erase all this part just a bit, and I'm not saying that I'm going to get this like super right from the get-go, but it looks a little bit better. And I think that that is one of the secrets. You know, just to not get confused, I'm just going to erase everything here. I'm going to take this guy's small but long chin here, and then I'm going to go and do something like this. And it does look a lot better than the previous example that I had, right? So that is kind of the secret for the chin. I have other examples that I've been working on other faces, and I want to show them to you. This I have here, and you see that the higher angle, like the lower angle, it's a little bit easier than this angle that I'm doing here. I'm still trying to figure it out, but if you see all these examples that I have here looking up, you will see what they're about. Once I have the nose, I use this distance just to drive the mouth and know kinda decide the distance where the eye is going to be here. And then I just have this little sphere here that is going to follow me here. Here I have the same. It's just this volume here for the chin. And where does the jaw go? It goes in a straight line here. This curve that, well, not a straight line, but this curve that follows the mouth to the jaw. And I have a final row of examples. Like, look at this mess. This is why I didn't do a video on other angles, because I still haven't figured it out. Now I really like, I'm going to choose another color here. Now I really like this one. And this one, well, it still needed some work. Well, let's see if I can fix it right now, because it is such a low angle, you know? That this would be something like this, and this would be something like this, and it is it is a little bit better. It is much better actually. Well, let's just do some examples so I can finally show you. Okay, so here we go. I have this circle here. I'm just going to give this angle here, like the nose is going to go this way. Following this curve. Now I follow this so I can do the mouth. I follow this to define the curve of the jaw. Then bring this down. Like the jaw is going to be somewhere around here. I'm not going to be trying to be accurate with the character that I was using in previous examples. It's probably going to look similar. So I follow this line in order to have a reference on what the jaw is going to be. This line. Let me see, I want to see if I'm liking it. Just turn it around. It's not so bad. This is the nose. Now we're going to do the masky thing to know where to put the eyes. Okay, I'm going to turn it around again. I know, it can be pretty boring if I do this constantly, but... Well, I have here, you know that the ears are going to be in the distance between the eyebrows and the nose, like this is going to come this way. Basic human proportions, I guess. And that's going to be, well, I'm going to break this down just a little bit. Now, I always have to face this problem where I don't have a lot of skull left. And, well, I have to improve on that. I'm just going to give myself just a little bit more skull here. And, well, he's going to have this really simple hair. Now I'm going to try another one and see what happens, just be a little bit looser. So once again, I have this here, I have this here, this is where the nose is going to be, this is where the eyes are going to be. So the mouth here, going to look pretty similar as well. Now the jaw, well, let's just give it a big round jaw here. See, all the distances are pretty much defined already, so I just have to do doing just one simple nose here. Doing it back upper lip like this. Work a little bit on the jaw. Just let me turn it around first to see how this is coming. I like where this is going. This is going to be the chin. This is going to be a really strong jaw. And, well, now I'm just going to put the eye somewhere around here. He's looking to the side, because why not? I want to give it some space here for the eyebrows and to give it some volume here. Ears are going to be somewhere like this. And if I'm going to bring this down just a bit, now maybe just a bit of forehead, and well, let's just give him big mohawk, because why not? So you understand what I did, right? Once I have an anchor to the rest of the proportions of the face, like the nose, I can just start going just a little bit down to define the mouth and then get the chin right. And once you get that chin as a volume, then you can use the distances from the mouth to know where exactly this part of the jaw is going to be the maxillary, and then you can just draw a line between them. It's not hard. And once you get that, well, then you can just basically use the rest of the natural proportions that you know from, drawing faces. If you need to know how to draw faces, you can just look for a link on my channel. There's going to be plenty of links for that. Before we begin, as usual, if you have any questions, leave a comment. If you have any advice, leave a comment. And if you like this video, give it a like. That's all very necessary for YouTube statistics and whatnot. So if you want to give me a hand, just go ahead and do it. You can do it after the video ends. Now let's look at the screen. So the short version of this is just the same as yesterday. I have circles with different looking lines towards different angles. I made just this sample face that is just like, I didn't practice this, I don't know where it got from, and I'm not interested in doing her hair so much. So, well, this is my first attempt. And I have to be honest with you, I started doing the same thing that I did on the angle looking up, that is starting with the nose, and I don't think it was working for me. Or maybe just my hand was cold, I don't know. There were certain things like this one was okay, this one was okay, but these two were like, I don't know, they weren't convincing me, and this one wasn't convincing me too much either. I made a change, and I did this one, and here I started to practicing something else that I think that was kinda the secret, and that's what I want to show you right now after we go through these drawings. Well, I'm just going to tell you right now what I think that was the secret was. Remember on the last video that when drawing the jaw, it was very important to just take this point, just below the ears, to know where everything else was going to go regarding the jaw. And I think that on this angle, the jaw plays such an integral part that even though, when you're looking from this angle, you give a lot of priority to the jaw because it is the thing that is most in front of you. But it's a lot easier to solve than when you're looking on these angles. It drives me a little bit crazy, but I think that if you start drawing the jaw from this point, that is the only real anchor point, because the mistake that I always did, and you know what, let's do this real quick. The mistake that I always did before was that I started trying to draw the shape of the face by drawing a line here and saying like, well, this is going to be kind of like this, and then I'm going to come this way, and I don't think that is how it works. What I think is that if you start here, you know that it's going to be this really small line, and then you can just I'm going to start again. If you just take this line and then go towards the chin, I think that you can get a better grasp of exactly where you where everything should be. And in this particular case, I even think that, well, I made a mistake, because I think that this would be more kind of like this. That's okay, you can correct, and then you can start with the nose. And I think that once you start with the nose, you're in a lot better place to do everything else, and just to do the rest of the face, a smiley face and whatnot, and you can keep it here. Like I still, I'm rushing, but I think that is kind of the secret. This is my third attempt. Like, the angle is completely different, and wow, I was a lot happier with these faces when I did them. But I still think that is how this should be done. I'm going to do just a little quick example. I'm going to do it in black. So we have a circle here, and we have this crosses like this, crosses like this. It's going to be, I have to bring the jaw forward, then I can just this. I know that the mouth is going to be somewhere around here. Remember those guidelines that we did on the other video as well? Let's see if those work. And then I can work here on the nose. Getting the nose angle right is a little bit complicated. Now I can just go head to the mouth here where it's supposed to be. And then I can do, well, I was doing these huge eyes, I can do the huge eyes here. I can add a little bit more cheek. But it looks pretty good, right? That kind of does it. Let me check. Yeah, that kind of does it. Okay, let's do another one with a more extreme angle. And this is going to be like the huge challenge for me. And I don't think I'm going to get it right. I just, but I have to try. I think that what I just did was kind of like the secret, you know? I'm going to be switching horizontally a lot. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to bring the nose somewhere around here. And I'm going to bring the mouth. You know, if I follow this line somewhere around here. And I know that I'm doing like this big-eyed characters. And I think that if you have a particular character design that you think that you want to like get right, well, you just have to do a lot of these exercises and just try to practice the proportions. As usual, I would recommend that you start with the nose, just like I did, in order to get something as an anchor point for the rest of the face, because the eyes, well, I don't know, it's just not the same. I think that the nose is the great anchor point for doing the rest of the proportions of a human head. Eye comes here, and this eye comes here. Oh, I'm just doing something wrong with the eyes, right? And I'm just going to, no, this nose is going to come something around here. I'm going to do just a little bit here. I'm going to bring... I think I'm messing it up. But this is a very, very complicated subject, and I still can't quite grasp what it is that you have to do. I think that, well, the problem is that there's so much complex shapes, especially here in the mouth area, that, well, I don't think this is easy for anyone. What if I just give this look? Well, what do you know? I'm pretty satisfied with how this looks. I'm just going to make some few corrections here. Well, just going to make the ears come this way, just to make this a little bit just shorter. And I think this is it. So, if I'm going to do a quick recap of what we did today, I'm just going to do like super sketchy. You do the circle first. You try to see where everything is going to go. Then you try to bring the jaw your way. Then you do the nose. Then use this jawline to know where the mouth is going to be. And then you just do the eyes. You have to do some corrections probably, you know, for perspective. But that's pretty much going to be it. And that's also going to be it for this week. If I have any other development before I do the whole compilation of the week, I'll let you know and I'll add it to the video. Also, I have to thank you because today I reached 8,000 subscribers. That's a lot. Do you think I have like... I have this intention of finishing the year with at least 20,000 subscribers. I know that for YouTube numbers there's a very small thing, but I think I can make it. And maybe you can help me, like share my videos and tell everyone that is trying to learn how to draw to watch my videos if you find them useful. This might not be the best video to start with, but still, I still have to thank you, all of you, for your support. and I still want to thank my only patron that is giving me $1. Come on, man, you're the best. and hopefully I'll have some more news about what's coming this year, because I'm going to make some very big changes, actually, not small changes. But this is going to be it. This is going to be it for this week. My name is Javi and I can draw. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know you can draw too, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.